Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Licata with Marvel Consults, and I'm here today with Cathy Del Priore of the Grace Foundation. Nice to have you, Cathy.
I'm so happy to be here today at Grace.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like a little inside joke. So we're actually here today filming at the Grace podcast studio, which means would you walk about 100 feet?
Just about outdoors. A little scary, but I did it.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm a guest at your place, but you're a guest on this podcast today.
Love that.
Right? That's a little weird.
But it's good. It works. It works for me. So I'm glad we have a podcast to do this. So that's great.
It's nice to see the place get used.
It finally looks good. Needs to be vacuumed, but we're good.
We're good. So now, how long have you been at the Grace Foundation?
I have been at Grace 8 years. So, you know, it was funny because our chairman, Michael Lanza, a friend for years, said to me, you know, there's an opening. Why don't you come to Grace? You'll love it. And I kept on saying, no, it's like, no, it's not for me. I don't know autism. I don't know the business. I never, it was never a nonprofit. It was always at corporate USA, Madison Square Garden, Radio City, doing big events. It scared me. But, 8 years later, I'm here.
So you went from Radio City, Madison Square Garden, then to the Grace Foundation.
Yeah, I had, a little like consulting in between.
Yeah.
But came here, was a little nervous, never did anything in Staten Island, and knew no one really because I was always city bound. So getting to know people, getting to have relationships and realizing it really is fulfilling. I mean, I really mean that. I was nervous at first because knew nothing about the diagnosis of autism. I, obviously grew up with it, but didn't know as much. And you really basically have to be schooled on it. Get to know the parents, get to know each kid, and then realize what do we need? What do we need to do to grow it? We're Grace, but we're small, and how do I take my knowledge of what I've done in Madison Square Garden and my expertise came from creating events, creating like shows, creating people to get interested in like what you're doing, like not just selling tickets, but now it's like actually selling services, so to speak.
So when you came here as the event person?
As the event person.
Did they have a lot of events back then?
We had, and the board did it. We had the gala, and I think there was a picnic, and that was it. And I think Barbara D'Amore used to do a crop, like scrapbooking, which was really successful. And she did a picnic, and they had this yearly gala and nothing else.
So now most nonprofits literally spend all year long planning events, right? Going from one event to the next event to the next.
Right.
And so back then, Grace had 1 to 2 events.
Exactly. And they depended on, the contracts and maybe small donations here and there. The board actually donated a lot. And I remember coming in saying, hey, let's do like a Halloween event and let's get some sponsorship. Sponsorship? What is sponsorships? We never asked anybody for money to sponsor an event. And that's how it started. And I think my first person I reached out to was Phil at Empire. And he said, congratulations, finally someone's asking me for money to sponsor an event. I thought that was crazy.
So most nonprofits run events because it's like that, create awareness and bring in money.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, starting almost from scratch, you had a clean slate. It wasn't like you had all these people who had done years of an event and you couldn't touch it. Everything kind of became how you wanted it to go.
Right, exactly.
Right. So the Halloween was your first event?
It was my first. It was like a fall picnic, so calling Ariema's to get pumpkins donated. I was just calling everybody. I was on my own. I was a team of one, got some sponsors dollars and created a great fun day. And then we kind of built on it for a trunk or treat, Halloween experience. Then I went into like other events and we just kept on growing that way. So
was there a golf outing back then?
We had somebody else supported us by doing a golf outing and we just showed up and, just had lunch and did nothing. And then we said, why aren't we doing this as our own event? Yeah. And that's how we did it. And Frank Viglione from our board loves golf, knew golf, helped us with that. And we have a great yearly golf. I say always a great lunch. And by the way, there's golf.
Yeah.
And that's how we do things. We do things to have fun. We make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but we actually do it for all the right reasons.
So with the different events that you run, I mean, what's like the startup time? Like how much lead time do you need to actually plan an event?
Yeah, well, that's a good, sometimes one day. So, Brian, the gala, we always plan a year ahead. Next year it's April, I don't know, 4th or whatever. But there's some events. We just did not Halloween, the Christmas in July. I think we had 1 month and we put it together. Was it a moneymaker? Probably not. But it was our first annual. Next year we'll get sponsors, and that's how you grow it. You can't always expect every event to make money.
Did it build awareness?
It did.
Right. So like that's where it goes back and forth, because hopefully from that awareness, more money comes down the road.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But I mean, okay, so a month lead time to plan that event.
Right.
But then during that time, you have other things you have to do.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I'm supposed to be running an organization. Listen, I can't help it. Running events and doing events and working with the team that I have is just the best part of it. But yeah, we making dog biscuits, candles, podcast interviews, planning golf, planning a Halloween event, planning a holiday Christmas event, all at the same time. So it's always busy. So
how many events do you think you have right now on the docket for a year?
Oh, I forgot the marathon. 2 marathons. No. From now until the end of December?
Even if we did like 2024, all of 2024.
Oh, God. It ranges. I think we would have at least 15 events. I mean, you have the small ones. You talk about Raymore Flanagan. We'll do we're going to do an art exhibit. That's new. We have the big ones, like the seasonal, the 5 or 6. So then we throw in other things and, everything else in between.
And then you have all the smaller events like the virtual bingo.
Oh, the bingo. Okay. And we're going to do bingo again here. So yeah, bingo is always, it's like a staple. We've created our audience. We're going to continue because people love it. So, we'll continue with it.
And then included in the events are like all these little things that you probably don't even consider events. Like you have the 2, the web series, Dan on the Street, Grace 10314, and those have weekly or bi-weekly events, going out to restaurants and doing other things.
Right.
Right. So we take it from 15 to like 50.
I think so. Now that you say it that way, we do. Every day there's something.
Well, there's still a lot of planning that goes into it.
Right. Oh, so much planning because you have to say there could be a cancellation. We have to change the times. We have to make sure the video crew is there. We have to make sure sometimes our participants are okay to go that day. So there's always something. And there's always obstacles and there's always something you have to figure out. But that's every day here at Grace. There's never downtime.
So how do you pick events? I mean, I'm going to say be successful, but how do you pick an event that's not something that everybody's doing?
Well, yeah, you just don't. You just don't do it here. I mean, everybody's also golf outing. So we do our golf outing with a little bit more. You try to add more to it.
Your golf outing is like something on every hole.
Right, exactly. You make it fun, you know. And this year it's like, okay, what could we do that we didn't do last year? It's great. You put creative minds together and you try it. You try it out. Everybody's, it's great if somebody follows your lead and does something. So that means I guess you're doing something right. I have no problem saying I've looked at other things in the past that worked for me in a bigger situation like Madison Square Garden and saying, well, how can we replicate that?
Yeah.
We've had events like I talked about the ice skating outside and we did it. Rapchulo had his glice people, they call it, the ice people. But you try to create something that it's never been done with a little extra flair to it, I think.
Well, I mean, so Christmas in July that just passed, you had the blow-up rides, you had the vendors, you had food, you had the glice.
Right.
And at different times, there were people on the glice, and then at other times there weren't.
It was empty. Yeah,
right?
Sure.
But you took a chance.
Right.
Right. And I think that's part of having events, having fundraisers, trying something different that other people don't do. And, sometimes almost hoping that like you strike gold.
You hope so.
And then sometimes you don't.
Right. And then sometimes you just do events for the kids.
Yeah.
You just do it because, you're giving back something, And next year I'm going to say, we'll take some deer and we'll create reindeer, baby. We could do so many different things. To me, the sky's the limit. Whatever you can do within a budget, you hope you keep within that budget. Sometimes you don't.
But I mean, some of the events are big. I mean, like breaking the Guinness World Records. Those are big, big events.
Right.
Right. And I would have to say that there's a lot more planning that goes into that.
Right.
Than into, trunk or treat.
Yeah. Trunk or treat is candy and, costumes. breaking the world record is getting the adjudicator there, making sure you have the people to break a record, permits, marketing. There's so much involved. And that day, you just, hold your breath until it's over.
So how do you build on trunk or treat? What else can you add to it?
Well, I think this year we're doing something. We're adding something which will be fun. We're adding a haunted. I don't want to say an adult. It's a scarier version. We're bringing in a haunted house. So during the day we have the trunk or treat for the kids, a sensory friendly type of walkthrough for the haunted house, and later on, be prepared because I know I'll be screaming through that house. And it's, I think, the first ever here in a nonprofit that will do something like that. I think.
I don't think there has been.
Yeah.
I know what you have, the guy who does the haunted cemetery tours.
Right.
Right. I've seen Ferry Hawks did something. Chrysler Mansion's done something. Then there's just all the people who do things out of their houses.
Right. That's true.
But I don't think a nonprofit has done like a real haunted house or a scary trail or anything like that.
Have you seen this property?
Well, so years ago, literally like 20 years ago, I mean, I remember we came here for, they did have something inside Colony Hall. They had a haunted thing in Colony Hall. But this campus is scary on a given day, any given day.
Every day. Colony Hall, actually, if you talk to him, there's like tunnels right under the stage. So like if you go through the tunnels, and we should, or maybe we'll send someone we don't like to go through, because I don't think you'll ever come out. But he said you could walk through. It was like years ago. They used to bring in, I don't know what they used to bring through.
All the buildings were connected.
Yeah.
Right. So there was the crematorium. When this was fully functional, even across the street, everything was connected. And I want to say that whether it's the History Channel or A&E, they have actually filmed some like haunted Staten Island or ghost series on these locations, because there are so many people who have died here.
Right. And yeah, that's true. We're in the tuberculosis center, and basically everybody did go there to die. Yeah. We have friendly spirits. We do. They close our doors. There's orbs, there's things, there's sounds, but we're kind of getting used to it. So why not bring it together for Halloween and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, across the street, I know people go in all the time with like GoPros and other things and film. I've been in one or two of the buildings here that, are just creepy. The building,
can feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. The building next to you is just like,
oh, no.
It's like a horror movie.
Right. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
So you keep building onto the events that you have. And with building on, you're inviting in more people, not just participants and their families, but you're getting the community involved. Yeah,
you hope so. I mean, it's out open to the public. You always say it's sensory friendly for those, with autism, but we want everybody to come here and to get to know us and to spread the word. And, that's why we do different events during the year. So Christmas should be open to everybody. Halloween, of course. The gala, yes, of course. All of those events. We want everybody to come to get to know us and to appreciate what we're doing.
Well, so last year you did the first Christmas event here, right? I mean, like true Christmas event.
Yes.
Tree lighting, everything else. How's that tree doing?
Tree's dead. Tree's gone. Yeah, it didn't. So I'm sorry to say, we dug up the tree. We're gonna put another tree, but it's gonna work.
Yeah,
we should plant it now, right?
I don't know if you plant a tree or if you just go fake. I mean, it maybe would have worked like if.
Green thumb, no, it's not happening. So if we have to dig a hole every year and put a tree in, we'll do it.
Last year's event, you had a couple hundred people here.
We did.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, people come out, if you're planting a tree, it's not going to be a 100-foot tree. It's not like, going to the city and seeing the tree.
No.
But this was still a really nice thing.
It was nice because the whole place is decorated.
Yeah.
We have lights everywhere. This year we have this brand new outdoor, I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe, the Grace House, whatever. Yeah. And we're going to decorate it like Terrace on the Park, Terrace on the Green. Which one is it?
Terrace on the Green.
Yes. Candyland. And we'll have our, indoor experience with ice cream, and we'll do that. So it's like, it is a winter wonderland. So if we have an 8-foot tree, so be it. Maybe we'll get a 10-foot tree or a 12-foot tree.
Well, I mean, look, the property looked beautiful. I mean, with all the Christmas lights and then with the people. I mean, like I said, you keep building on it. You keep adding other things. More people come in because they want to see it. Right. Halloween and Christmas is so weird. You can never have enough things to do. Right. Like, we go to Dyker Heights, we look at the lights. We drive around the island, we look at the lights, both Halloween and Christmas. Right. So, like, people do want to see things. And
they do.
This is almost this weird area on the island where there's nothing.
There's nothing. It's, really, we're in woods. So we're in the green. So, so we'll decorate now for Halloween soon, I think. And then we'll take it down and start decorating for Christmas because there's still Thanksgiving. Like right in between, But people do drive by and they're curious because they see the lights. Yeah. They see something happening. So that's a good thing, right?
No, I mean, it's something local. We don't have enough stuff.
Right.
So it gives people things to do. You don't have to be a participant or family member of participant to show up.
No.
Right. And I think that's what kind of brings people in, where most of the places on the island are really only open for the participants' families. And with the exception of golf outings. Golf outings are the only one event where everybody gets invited.
Right.
But the more things you keep doing, I mean, you've got the space. Could you do a Valentine's dance now?
Well, why not?
Right.
We can. Sure. We could you could do anything. If you plan it right, anything could work out. There's always a market for something, or a holiday, or we make up our own holiday. We could do it,
So if you keep looking at adding events, how soon until there's just no room to add more?
I don't know. Maybe you have to eliminate one, add another, kind of rotate it, see what works for everybody, or just keep it coming, But no, there has to be a limit. You can't do too many things because I feel like then people might say, is it going to be the same as the last? Or, I wonder what they did. Maybe they did something different. But I think that, we still have to keep a limit on something.
But not even that. I mean, sponsors.
Yeah, sure.
Going after the same people.
Right.
And, getting families to come to things is one thing.
Right.
But, there's a cost with everything that you do.
With everything. Yeah. So, listen, I think a seasonal, if everybody knows 4 seasons, there's 4 major events, people plan on it. To me, instead of going other places, Jersey, or come here, enjoy it here.
All right. So the next 2 big events are going to be the Halloween.
Right.
And then Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. So when is your tree lighting in Christmas?
Tree lighting is November 30th. It's a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. 5:00 here. We're going to have Winter Wonderland, Candyland, Santa in here. The tree lighting, probably, we don't have igloos this year, but we'll have ice cream, maybe some vendors. It's a lot of fun.
Do you have to go on to register? Do you just show up for that?
Last year, did we register? I don't think we registered last year. It was just showing up. But this year, maybe we'll do some sort of registration so we'll know, because maybe we'll have other things. Maybe we'll have, line. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if it should just be open to everybody and then see what happens. And then we could do a vendor day.
Sure.
But everything will be on the website anyway.
What's the website?
What is it? It's just go to Grace of NY.
Okay. So graceofny.org.
Yes.
And then Halloween is going to be when?
Halloween is going to be October 19th. So that's Saturday. I think it's the 19th. Is the 19th a Saturday?
Sounds right.
Yes. During the day, it'll be outside, trunk or treat. And then going into maybe 7 to 11 at night, we have our haunted Halloween. I'm going to call it a mansion, but we'll see what happens.
And that's going to be a ticketed event.
There'll be limited tickets. So I think if you're planning something, plan it now. I think tickets are going on sale probably this week or soon. So we're getting it out there.
Okay. So, lots of events, lots of things to do. If you're looking for Halloween, or if you're thinking ahead to Christmas,
right,
visit graceofny.org. Check out their socials.
Right.
Get tickets.
True. Come
to the event, or just spread the word and reshare it.
Right. We're always on social. Every day there's something new.
So this is great. So if you have questions about Grace of NY, their services, or how you can participate, visit their website. I'm sure there's ways they can contact you and your staff directly.
Right. We will do that. Of course. We'll call you. We always do. And there's always information on all social, and give a call and, we'll respond.
Okay. Well, this has been great. And thanks for having me on your podcast.
Has it been great?
It has been great. Really? It's always great talking with you.
It's like all of a sudden you say things like, why did I just say that? That was ridiculous.
Well, that's why we edit.
Yeah. But keep it in.
Or-
a blooper. Put a blooper.
Or you just throw those in. No, but I need bloopers like people falling down.
Right.
Like funny bloopers.
Yes. Or not just, I could do that. I always fall. Or drop something. Or say something stupid.
I mean, who is it? I was watching Mike send me something the other day, and I think he fell in front of his house.
He always falls.
And it was captured on the Ring camera.
Yes.
Like, those are fun.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And he's good. He puts it out before anybody
else.
gets it.
Right. Get that out there. He is. He's like a walking like parody of that of himself. Yeah. Oh, poor thing.
Okay, well,
All right.
hopefully this has been helpful and people check out the website and get more people to come.
I hope so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.